Hello, I'm Marcus Stuttard, Head of UK Primary Markets and Head of AIM at London Stock Exchange. And I'm joined today by Steve Bates, CEO of the UK BioIndustry Association, and Ian Campbell, Chair of MedCity. Welcome, Steve and Ian. I'm delighted we're having this conversation today. Healthcare is a really important sector for the UK and one in which we've got a world-leading position. Healthcare is also a strong and growing sector within our capital markets. There are 117 healthcare companies listed across AIM and the main market, with a collective market capitalisation of £272 billion. AIM in particular has been a resounding success, both for companies where we've seen £462 million raised year to date through 8 IPOs, including 4 North American IPOs and a number of further issues. Importantly, we've seen increased investor interest from across the board, from retail, institutional, and increasingly specialist investors such as VCTs. So since the 1st of March 2020, the FTSE AIM All-Share Healthcare Index is up by 48%. So Steve, given that backdrop, can you tell us more about the latest investment picture for UK biotech and life sciences?
Sure, we track the UK life science ecosystem year on year, and I'm delighted to say that our latest data, which covers June to August 21, shows that £575 million has been invested in UK life science companies. And that puts us on track for a bumper year, a record year, the best year ever in life science investment in the UK. By the end of September, we've already surpassed the figure reached last year in 2020 to make it the best year ever.
That's brilliant news. So there's clearly momentum in the sector. What's behind that momentum?
I think there's momentum and maturity in UK life science companies now. We're seeing some of the fundamental science that we've invested in over a long period of time come to a point of maturity. We've got companies that are growing to size and scale. You mentioned AIM listings, companies like Arecor, who've been developing the ability to miniaturize diabetes drugs. That's sort of coming to prime time now. So I think it's those things. It's the combination of the long-term investment in science, sustained support from the government and a focus on our sector. We've seen a new life science vision this year with investor interest and the ability to make money.
Brilliant. So all the key sort of vital ingredients there. So Ian, to turn to you, from what we've heard already from Steve, the science and the commercial life sciences base obviously appears to be in very good health. I presume you'd agree with that.
Oh, I think we all have to agree with it. I think what we've seen through COVID is a spotlight being shined on the sector and the sector responding. So now the expectation is that the sector can respond, deliver products and services rapidly for the benefit of patients, but at the same time creating economic value and sustainability for the UK. So definitely, as we move into this next year, it's about maintaining that momentum, as Steve has said.
So, and it's clear that there are lots of opportunities and that I think we've got real breadth in the UK across the various sort of verticals. What do you see as the interesting emerging opportunities?
So for the UK, I think we've got to reflect that we have an advanced therapies sector that's thriving. And I think we've seen through IP generated in the universities to companies floating to products reaching the market that gene and cell therapies really represent a new modality. If you look at what's happened with the vaccines, we also see mRNA emerging to the fore. And then this kind of latent bedfellow is diagnostics and a real resurgence around the importance of diagnostics and able to identify the right patients quickly to get the right treatment. So we can see the modalities now coming together.
Brilliant. And as I mentioned in my sort of opening remarks, from a capital markets perspective, we don't just see this as a UK sector. It's clearly very international. We've seen an increasing flow of international companies coming to our markets. Maybe it'd be interesting to get your sort of perspectives on the international flow of both companies basing themselves here and investors coming to the UK. Steve.
So, I think we've had world-leading science from the UK. You can see it from the Nobel Prizes that have been won. And I think the investor base is global and now is increasingly comfortable looking to the UK as part of that global system, whether it be for a capital market or whether it be to invest in great companies and great science. So I think we're part of a global network. I think of London being at the base of that. If you look at some of the world-leading capability we have here, on the one hand, you've got Europe's largest biomedical centre in the Francis Crick Institute next to King's Cross Station. You go across the road from there, the other side, and you have Google DeepMind. If you think about it, where Google have invested and discovered the basics of how proteins fold, fundamentally important to new drug discovery. Put the two together, halfway in between is platform 9 3/4 at King's Cross Station, where medical journeys have always started. So I think you can see why that would have a global appeal and why we're integrated into a global scene.
Yeah, a really good observation. We often talk about, the capital, the academia, the regulation, and also actually creative industries all being together in one place. In your observations?
Well, I think we can supplement that. So the charitable sector, and in particular the Wellcome Trust, are actually just at the end of Euston Road also. But if you look at where we've come from as a country, we've got 5 universities within the Golden Triangle that are in the top 20 in the world. These ideas are creating great IP, and upon that there are great institutes being built. Investors want to come. We have a great regulatory system, so therefore when you combine that, we really do have an opportunity to thrive in the life sciences sector.
This is, I mean, clearly the purpose of this session was to sort of whet people's appetite. There's clearly an awful lot going on, across the sector. I think we've already highlighted just sort of the tip of the iceberg really, but some of the key trends and themes that we're going to explore in more detail on the 12th of October at the Future of Healthcare Investment Forum that's going to be live streamed via our Spark service onto our website. So very much looking forward to exploring these themes in a lot more detail on the 12th of October. But thank you for your time today.
Thank you.